the Southeastern Conference on ESPN.
On what is a landmark day in Nashville, a top 15 showdown with Missouri. It's 250 to Joe! I made a commitment to all you folks. I am jumping on the bandwagon today, Vandy.
It was an amazing scene this morning as College Game Day came to Nashville for the first time since 2008. That was just the appetizer. Now the main course, the top 15 matchup. The Mizzou Tigers in town at number 15 to take on a Vanderbilt team ranked in the top 10 for the first time since 1947. So excited to be a part of this top 15 matchup. And how important is this game for both teams? Obviously not officially a playoff game, but it's got that feel. The odds for both of these teams to reach the 12-team playoff affected dramatically by the outcome of today's game, as both are better than a 50-50 chance to be playing in the 12-team playoff if they win this game. Bob Wischusen alongside Lewis Riddick. Chris Budden is with us as well. So happy you can be along. And it is a true renaissance of football for Vanderbilt here in Nashville. Who knew they would have New Mexico State to thank for it?
Yeah, how about that? Look, head coach Clark Lee from Vanderbilt said, look, he needed to do something in order to really energize this offense in particular here at Vanderbilt. So what did he go out and do? He goes out and he hires Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator from New Mexico State. And it's a package deal, because then what does he do? He gets one of the most electrifying players in all of FBS this year in Diego Pavia, last year in 2024. And in 2025, all he has done is ranked 7th in total QBR in FBS, 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He is just the alpha of this football team, and he's leading the way.
And when game day's in town, feels like it's all about the home team, and Chris Budden, Mizzou, just fine with that.
Yeah, Eli Drinkowitz didn't watch a second of College Game Day. He's like, we're the sideshow. They don't even want to talk to me. But his message to his team, lay in the woods. What does that exactly mean? They're just sitting there on the ground. They're a tiger watching their prey, not even pay attention. Then they're going to go and attack when they need to. How does that look like on the field? Damon Wilson said when Diego Pavia has the ball, we want them to physically feel us.
Well, Lewis, you said all week, this is a game that could be wrecked by either team's pair of defensive ends.
Yeah, these guys have got hunters, man, on both sides of the football. For Vanderbilt, you'll get to see theirs first. Miles Capers, Corday Sidnor. They're just absolute pterodactyls out there, the way they rush the passer. And then when Missouri is out there on defense, you're talking about Zion Young, Damon Wilson II. This is fun, folks. There are big-time players all over the football field.
Mizzou did not want Pavia to touch the ball first. They won the toss, and they took the ball. They want it in the hands of Bo Pribula as we take a look at today's Player Spotlight, brought to you by Cintas. And let's take a look at the Mizzou QB. The 7 interceptions, certainly a concern, but 70% completion.
Yeah, look, he is someone that they need to continue to kind of bring along here. Bo Pribula has not played a whole lot of football. He wasn't a regular starter at Penn State before he transfers to Missouri. This is a run-centric, zone-blocking scheme-centric offense that really features the play action. And when he is on it and he is feeling good and in rhythm, he is a dynamite dual-threat quarterback.
They want the screen to start. Incomplete. Disrupted. Kevin Coleman was hoping for a tunnel to open, but Randon Fentinet came off the edge, and Randon Fentinet's blitz seemed to disturb Pribula's rhythm.
But that's something you're going to see a lot of here today. Defensive coordinator Steve Gregory wants to put the pressure on this young quarterback, wants to see if he has answers for the multiple blitz packages that they use, and you can see it right now. Just look at all the defenders up on the line of scrimmage, making young Bo Pribula try and figure it out.
They'll run it with Ahmad Hardy, and he is a true workhorse bell cow running back. He picks up 3, so an early 3rd down and 7 for a Missouri offense that has been outstanding this year on 3rd down. Top 10 in the country.
This is where they want Missouri's offense, though, Bob. They want to make Bo prove that in the drop-back passing game on 3rd and 5+, that he can read the coverages pre-snap, adjust post-snap, and find the right receiver.
Rabula, blitz coming. It was delayed. He's in trouble, and he's going to throw it away just to avoid the sack. Bryce Cowan, well-executed delayed blitz, flushed Rabula to the sideline.
And there you saw the disguise by the Vanderbilt secondary. Had about 7 or 8 up on the line of scrimmage, dropped back to play a single high safety look right before the snap. Tight man coverage across the field. That's a great start for the Vandy defense. Accomplished exactly what they wanted to here early in this football game.
Connor Wesselman gets away a wobbly kick. That'll take a Mizzou bounce. So our first opportunity to see a Heisman candidate as we take a look at our Chili's 3 impact players.
Yeah, for Missouri, look, Zion Young, you're going to get a chance to see him on the football field right now. He is a fantastic pass rushing defensive end. And then when you're looking at Vanderbilt, it's all about Diego Pavia. He is the guy who can just make things happen off schedule as well as any quarterback in all of FBS. The unscouted look, that's what he gives you as a defense. And you have to just react and be an athlete because he's going to do it all game long.
From not being offered out of high school to going the junior college route, finding his way to New Mexico State, now in the Heisman conversation with a top 10 SEC team. Diego Pavia goes to work. He's got Cedric Alexander, and he'll run the option with him. He'll spin, and he'll go down at the line of scrimmage. Already, Zion Young, Damon Wilson pursuing from the backside. Those 2 defensive ends show up at the picture frame of the game's first play.
Yeah, this running a little bit what you would call a speed option. And Pavia just reading Zion Young, the end man on the line of scrimmage. Zion does a nice job of playing like a float technique, a skate technique, putting some indecision in his mind, makes a nice tackle.
They'll hand it off on 2nd down and 10. Face mask to face mask hit by Josiah Trotter. He turned back Alexander to make it 3rd down and long, 3rd to about 8.
There you just see the strength at the point of attack here. Just look at the defensive end. Watch Zion Young and then watch Trotter come over the top. Watch him reset the line of scrimmage. Right there, you got to hold the point and just make the running back indecisive in terms of where the running lane is. Let your linebackers flow inside out. Now here in this 3rd and long situation, what will Missouri dial up? The defensive ends. Keep an eye on number 8, number 9, Wilson and Young. This is where they have to affect the game.
Speaking of number 9, that's an NFL tight end flexing out in Eli Stowers. Pavia avoids the rush, finds a presser, 1st down. Richie Hoskins. Nice little shoulder dip to buy time by Pavia, and he picked up 12.
Diego Pavia, he's just going to slip up inside of the pass rush from Damon Wilson at the top of the screen. There you see it. Keeps his eyes down the field, and Richie Hoskins is so good in the slot in the short and intermediate game. Quarterback-friendly wide receiver, catch and run, pick up the 1st.
Pavia was the SEC Player of the Week, and for good reason. The win over LSU last week accounted for 3 total touchdowns, 2 on the ground. He gives it to his roommate, Eli Stowers, the tight end, with the jet sweep to pick up 4 yards. That was his old quarterback competition at New Mexico State. That was Eli Stowers. He was a quarterback, hurt his shoulder, saw Pavia when they were both at New Mexico State. He was going to win the job, told the coaches. Obviously, Jerry Kill, I need to get on the field.
Yeah, and
they turned him into a tight end. Now he'll probably be a 1st-round pick as a tight end.
Yeah, he is a dual threat as far as being able to block, carry the football out of the backfield on jet sweeps, as you see. He's just so skilled as a route runner.
Jet sweep to the near side, A.J. Newberry. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. Marvin Burke stayed home to make a good one-on-one tackle.
That's a nice play by Missouri's secondary. Marvin Burks is coming downhill as one of these forced players in the alley and making a good open field tackle. It's going to be critical for Missouri's defense. Make sure you're clean with your tackling, clean with your run entry. They've got guys who are home run hitters on this Vanderbilt defense, as you see Coach Drinkwitz on the sideline. See if they can get off field in this 3rd and 5 type of situation.
Missouri rushes 4. Pavia, clean pocket to the sideline, broken up. Toriano Pride read it and knocked it away from Junior Sherrill. And it'll be a punt for Vanderbilt.
Excellent one-on-one technique on the outside. Toriano Pride, you can see, he starts to open his hips thinking he's going to get taken upfield on a go route, but he's able to get that foot in the ground and just burst out of his pedal. And there you see, he just is able to rake the pocket of Junior Sherrill. Give the ball back to Bo Prabula in the offense.
That pass from Pavia did get through to Sherrill. Hounded, obviously, by Pride. Evan Coleman with a fair catch. Flag down on the far side of the field. And another flag throw. Well, 2 separate penalties here. One back near the line of scrimmage, but we also may have kick-catch interference against Vanderbilt. Steve Marlowe is our referee today. And plenty to sort out here.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the kicking team. Illegal formation, more than 4 players in the backfield is declined. Kick-catch interference, 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul will be accepted. First down.
That's a big penalty. That takes Missouri from their 10 all the way out to their 25-yard line as if it was a touchback. Mizzou ball. Bo Prabula back to work when we return.
Welcome to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
And welcome to ESPN College Football presented by Chili's. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Top 15 matchup here at Vanderbilt. Bo Prabula went 3 downs and out on the first drive. They'll start this next drive on the ground with Ahmad Hardy, and he weaves his way for 8.5 on first down. The #1 rusher so far in the SEC, brought down by Brian Longwell. He piled up yards through the first 5 games of the season, but the last 2 weeks, Alabama and Auburn have both held him under 55 yards.
Yeah, and a lot of this falls on the offensive line as well. We're not very physical last week against Auburn. Head coach Eli Drinkwitz talked about that. He said it was a little out of character. They want to establish the run here early.
Play action. Prabula out of the pocket, finds Hardy in the flat. So the check down, shimmy shake, and I think a first down. Only needed about 1.5 yards and got it. Is that the biggest key to the game, though? Getting that guy going, making sure you've got the run game so that they can lean on that.
Yeah, this wide zone that everyone hears about at the NFL level all the time with the likes of San Francisco, the LA Rams, and how they like to run this zone stretch scheme. This is what Missouri majors in, and off of it you can really major in the play action passing game, and that's where Bo Prabula can really get going, and Ahmad Hardy's a big part of that. He has gassed people so far this season, although the past 2 weeks have been a little bit of a struggle, and they want to get him going so they can get the quarterback in a rhythm then.
Prabula, long throw and a hookup. Good hit by Colby Taylor as he put a shoulder right into the back of Joshua Manning, but he held on. Only picked up 2 yards.
But that's what you want to see from Prabula. You just want to see him delivering the football where it needs to be, putting it on the wide receivers so they can catch and run if necessary. And if you're Vanderbilt, you want to make sure you're getting guys on the ground. They have a physical secondary, long, angular corners that can really tackle. And they're going to be called on to do a lot of that today.
Hardy finds a little crease. Thrown down about 3 yards shy of the first down by Jalen Stone. So now a 3rd down to keep the drive alive for Mizzou.
And there's an example of that wide zone that we're talking about. The offensive line basically almost runs laterally along the line of scrimmage and wants to get the defensive line to turn their shoulders and let the running back find a crease and hit it upfield. Got to reset the line of scrimmage and play physical. Now here on third down, this is again where Steve Gregory, the defensive coordinator, can go to work. Change the coverage lookups in the back end. Is he going to show blitz? Give this young quarterback a lot of different things to think about.
Oh, it's Jamal Robertson to the left of Prabula. They try the jet sweep. Josh Manning heading in the wrong direction. He'll lose yardage all the way back to the 35. Landon Fontenette, tackle for loss. He backed up 7, and here comes the Missouri punt group.
You're going to see Fontenette right here at the left side of your screen. Watch him just stay square, shuffle down the line of scrimmage. He reads this sweep immediately, able to get upfield and create the TFL. Fontenette's a big boy now, 6'2", 220 pounds. He'll be called on to run the alleys, be the guy who sets the edge of the defense against this running game. That's a great job.
Much better punt this time from Wesselman. Returnable for Martell Height. And good coverage by Missouri to the 15-yard line after a 52-yard punt. Only a 2-yard return. Diego Pavia back to work in a moment.
ESPN College Football is presented by Chili's 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat.
On College Game Day this morning, by the way, that was a $500,000 kick by that Vanderbilt student. Oh, yeah. He knocked it out of the park. And here's Lewis's keys to victory today.
Yeah, for Missouri, they're going to want to spread out the formations a little bit and create some explosive plays in the passing game. That can only happen after the run game gets going. Vanderbilt defense, coverage disguise, make Prabula throw to win. He's just doesn't have a whole lot of experience throwing the football during his time at Penn State and now here in his brief stay in Missouri. For Vanderbilt's offense, start fast and build a lead. They'll see if they can get that done here in their second series. And for the defense of Missouri, the defensive ends must dominate the game. You've already see them make their mark. And I don't think that's the last we've heard of them this afternoon.
Zion Young dominated the late stages of that Auburn game last week. He was unblockable. And they're through on Pavia here. He's going to go down. Sterling Webb came right up the middle, and he flushed Pavia. Marquise Graciel pressured right up the gut as well.
Yeah, Graciel's really the one who makes it happen. Just watch him. He's able to get an edge and get pressure up the middle right away on Diego Pavia, and that's just not what you want. He's not able to get through his reads. His eyes come down. He's starting to look for an escape lane, and everything breaks down from there.
So awesome seeing Game Day in person this morning. It's funny, 20 years of calling football. This is the first time I was at the Game Day site. I'd never seen it in person before, and it was everything that you would have expected it would be. Those guys do an amazing job in the midst of all that insanity. Little down and out here to Trey Richardson. And by the way, they're bringing Clark Lee out for his interview, and I was kind of in the way, and a nice young lady came over and said, sir, you're going to have to step back. And I was like, no, it's okay. I'm calling the game today for ESPN. And her response was, yeah, that's great. You're going to have to step back.
Yeah, no respect, Bob. None at all.
My response, obviously, is you apparently don't know who I think I am. Yeah, she was unmoved. 3rd down and 10. Stowers in motion. Pavia, a cleaner pocket this time, but incomplete. Tried to fit one into Stowers, and pretty good coverage from Toriano Pride. A corner, man-to-man on the tight end.
And you see they brought Eli Stowers in motion to run him on that shallow cross. They brought him in motion to try and decipher whether it was zone or man. They saw that Toriano Pride was going with him. Diego Pavia tries to hit him on the crosser, but it's just tight coverage and he can't get it in there. Tip your cap so far early in this football game to Missouri's defense. The defensive line really making their presence felt. Tight coverage, good tackling in the back end. And that's 2 stalled drives for Vanderbilt.
That's a field position game early. Aber of the punt. Kevin Coleman. Late fair catch signal. That's a pretty good punt from the goal line. As Haberer 48 yards with enough hang time to not allow a return. Here's a look at the National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. We'll hand that out in January. Will one of these two teams be playing for it? Possibly. Because their odds to make it to the 12-team playoff, in case you're just joining us, very impacted by today's game. Missouri, 53%. Vanderbilt, 51% with a win, but you can see they both drop back significantly with a loss. So, and Lewis, being around these two teams, being in this town this weekend, it feels like a playoff game.
Absolutely. They know what's at stake. They know that they're almost mirror images of one another, how they like to play. This is going to be a 60-minute game.
Cut back for Ahmad Hardy. Tough to bring down. Yards after contact, 8 in all. Glenn Seabrooks, Brian Longwell finally combined on the stop.
Yeah, Ahmad Hardy, you can just see just how tough he is after initial contact. This guy is a absolute load to bring down.
Hardy again gets outside. He's got a first down and then some. 9 more for Ahmad Hardy.
There, just the great vision to jump this ball outside the tackle. But just get to the second level then, where you can just weave through traffic and use that lower body balance and power. Coming into this weekend, 3rd in the FBS in rushing yards. And this football team, one of the best rushing football teams in all of college football. Trying to get this big offensive line to go to work.
Play clock at 5. Hardy again. Nothing that time. Nick Rinaldi, a former walk-on, came up and popped him near the line of scrimmage. And it is strength on strength. Rush offense against rush defense when Mizzou has the ball.
Absolutely. It's a battle at the line of scrimmage. I mean, we all know that coming into this football game, both coaching staffs know it, and they both acknowledged it. It's going to be about gap control, hat in hands, playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, depending upon if you're on offense and defense, and then good, solid, open field tackling.
And you can see Jamal Roberts now in the game as the tailback, Prabula to throw. Under pressure, avoids a sack, heaves it to the sideline. Did he get it to the line of scrimmage? I'm not sure. This might be intentional grounding.
Bob, he's under duress, and I think it's going to be short. I think it's just going to be slightly short of getting it back past the line of scrimmage. As you see, Vanderbilt is coming with a nice rush game off of his front side, and he was under pressure immediately.
The other decision is, was he still in the tackle box? In which case, you just need to see a receiver in the area. But I guess they say he did get the ball close enough to the line of scrimmage. No intentional grounding.
Again, Missouri finding themselves in these 3rd and long type of situations where this crowd gets a little amped up. And defensive coordinator Steve Gregory can go into his bag of tricks. He's trained under some of the very best. Think Brian Flores when he's with the Miami Dolphins in that zero blitz scheme that they run. Just look at all the defenders up at the line of scrimmage right now.
3rd and 10. The rush gets through. Prabula on the move. Directing traffic. Run out of bounds. All the way to the sideline. He picked up a yard. But the pursuit from Zaylen Wood. And now it's 4th down and a long 8, close to 9.
And here, just look at all the bodies up at the line of scrimmage. And what winds up happening is that they drop out and only just rush 4 and cover with 7 and drop into a zone look and actually have a spy with linebacker Brian Longwell keeping his eye on Prabula. Those are the mind games that Steve Gregory's trying to play with Prabula. He only has, in his career heading into this season, he'd only attempted 56 passes during his time at Penn State. So he's learning on the job in the toughest conference in college football.
Martel Height lets it bounce, but it spins like a wedge shot to about the 8-yard line for Connor Wesselman. We were listening in on Clark Lee when he talked to his team pregame.
Discipline, respect, and spirit. Be who you are. Be who you are, right? The most physical team on that field will win today. You guys got it?
Go, sir.
To the edge, not what?
Over.
But I want all of it today. You guys understand?
so much fun talking to him and Diego Pavia yesterday.
Clark Lee is an absolute stud. If you don't know about him, you should read about him. He has got fantastic ideas in terms of team building, relationship building. He knew what he needed to do to take this program to the next level. He said, look, I knew I needed the support from the administration to really be a player in NIL and the transfer portal, and you see the changes and the effects that it has had on this football team.
Cedric Alexander bouncing up the middle for about 5. Something I thought he was so interesting with is his love of all sports. He said, look, I'm a defensive guy, so I try to teach my team philosophically what works in other sports. Like, I will show my team the Vegas Golden Knights forecheck.
Yeah.
I will show my team old videos of Nolan Richardson's 40 minutes of hell, pressure defense in college basketball. Show how just those basic principles of create havoc, create panic, relentless pressure, it applies in any sport.
It absolutely does. Discipline, respect, spirit. He says it over and over. He wants his team to play that way.
Pavia rolling off play action. He's going to take off. Easily picks up the first down. Cruises out of bounds. All the way out across the 20-yard line.
This is what you can't do if you're Damon Wilson II. If you're the end on the line of scrimmage, you have got to keep him in the pocket. And you see he knows immediately. Didn't stay wide enough. Diego Pavia, with his ability to make the second reaction type of plays, the off-schedule type of plays, he'll just burn you. He's going to test your discipline for 3.5 hours, however long a game takes. And if you break down, he will exploit you.
And James L. Lassiter, the sophomore, walk-on now to the left of Pavia in the shotgun. He can fly. Instead, they screen it to Trey Richardson. He can fly as well. Stays in bounds. Almost broke it. Picked up 15, maybe 16 yards. Another Vanderbilt first down.
Just look at the wide receivers, how they block out on the perimeter. You're going to see number 0, Junior Sherrill. Just look how he's able to get enough of a hit on Stephen Hall, the corner from Missouri, to where Trey Richardson can get out on the edge and use that fantastic speed and open field running ability. These wide receivers, this team plays for one another. Junior Sherrill just showed you an example as you take a look at Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, up in the box, trying to get his offense in rhythm.
That's McKylan Young. And MK Young picks up 4. Looks like that will take us down to the end of the first quarter. It feels like a playoff game here in Nashville. And we'll come back scoreless after 1. This is the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
Welcome back to Nashville. ESPN College Football presented by Chili's. Joined now with Eli Drinkwitz. You guys did such a good job defensively containing Pavia. What do you need to finish off on this drive?
Yeah, we just got to get off the field right here. We've given them too much yards. Offensively, we got to sustain some drives. We're not being consistent enough.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
MIC.
That's Chris Budden down on the field. Lewis Riddick, Bob Wischusen here at Missouri Vanderbilt. And boy, we've given up too many yards. They've allowed 56 yards of total offense. The Missouri defense.
High standards.
No
High
question.
standards for the Tigers.
Play action. Pavia. Eyes downfield. Now escapes. He'll tuck it under, run, and come up about 2 yards short of the first down.
That's just a fantastic job on the part of Missouri and their second and third level defenders of not going for the play action fake. You see their linebackers in secondary.
Oh, flag down.
Penalty, automatic first down.
Wow. So away from the play, it looks like there was a face mask grabbed. That cost Missouri 15 and a first down.
It's defensive end Darius Smith. He was getting double teamed as he was trying to rush off the edge and just got his hand up in the face mask of the offensive tackle. You're going to see him here at the bottom of the screen. I mean, he's just battling, trying to get the big guys off of him. You see the left hand right there in the corner as he just takes it and just yanks the face mask of Isaiah Glass.
That's a huge penalty. Instead of third down and short, first down and plus territory. And Pavia, a little check down. And there is Stowers making his first impact play. Another Doors first down.
And there's Diego Pavia with his eyes and his ability to read defenders on this RPO type of action, and then just find Eli Stowers just settling into a zone hole. His eyes really influenced Josiah Trotter, the linebacker, to take a step down the line of scrimmage. Thought he was going to hand it off and there was going to be a run play. He just pulls it and throws it, picks up the first. I mean, that's the problem that Pavia really presents to you. He's in full command of this offense, and when he is going at a high rate, he is tough to stop.
Two tight ends. And it's a trick play that somehow found its way to Trey Richardson. Oh, that was dangerous as could be for Vanderbilt. That could have been an intercepted pitch on what looked to be an end around.
Watch Zion Young. He almost had dreams of right here taking that thing about 75 yards. They got away with one there. As you see, Cedric Alexander almost makes a critical mistake. Now you're sitting here at 2nd and long. I don't know if those are the kind of things you want to try too often against a defense as disciplined as Missouri's. And now you're behind the sticks.
Pavia off play action. He's got a one-on-one. Incomplete. Toriano Pride walled off Junior Sherrill. Now it's 3rd down and 10.
Textbook man-to-man coverage by Toriano Pride. Just watch the feet at the line of scrimmage. He never opens his hips. He just does what they call a soft motor technique. Just give some ground off the line of scrimmage and then lean into the wide receiver, press him into the boundary. Junior Sherrill's the guy who's made nothing but plays for this big play Vanderbilt offense, but not today. And now you're sitting here at 3rd and long in the high red zone at the plus 24-yard line. And this is where the defensive line has to go to work for Missouri. Might just rush with 3, drop 8.
And a flag thrown from the end zone. Looks like delay of game. They didn't get the snap off in time.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
See the clock winding down there. Clearly it's at 0 before the ball is snapped.
Oftentimes you hear about that beat that the team will get, right? A coach or the end zone official looks at the play clock, sees it go to 0, and then his eyes shift.
You see Clark Lee arguing the call.
Please reset the game clock to 13 minutes, 13 seconds.
So a clock adjustment before 3rd down and 16. And Lewis, in what feels like it's going to be a low-scoring time of possession, field position game, is this just a play call to secure a field goal?
Yeah, you want to see if you can get in the better field goal position for your kicker, Brock Taylor. But against this Missouri defense, look, anything is possible. Diego Pavia has shown you that. He has pulled some plays off that not many quarterbacks can. You just want to protect the football here.
Pavia spins out. On the run, and has to throw it away. That's some speed for Darius Smith. And a late flag as well.
You see this game is getting chippy already. This Missouri defensive line, they're feeling it right now. Really rushing the passer with a lot of ferocity. That time it was Damon Wilson II who beat his guy cleanly and was in Pavia's face immediately.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 53 offense. It's a 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
So the down counts, and that will probably pull them out of field goal range. Brock Taylor has a heck of a leg. He made a 57-yarder last year, a Vanderbilt record against Missouri. But this is going to be that and more. It looks like, let's see where they spot the ball after a 15-yard foul is enforced.
You're going to see where they get Jordan White to center, number 53. You're going to see him right here. He is locked up with Chris McClellan, the defensive tackle, and you can see he puts him on the ground as McClellan loses his balance, and then he goes in and wants to give him a little bit extra. And that's where the flag is thrown. This is going to be a big-time battle up front between on the line of scrimmage, both sides of the football for both teams, because they know that's where the game is going to be decided.
Aberra forced to punt. And Coleman races over with a fair catch at the 9-yard line. It's been a field position game so far. To the SEC on ESPN. No score here at Vanderbilt. Two teams that have earned their way to this top 15 matchup. Bob Wischusen here with Lewis Riddick, Chris Budden, Jerry McGinn, our officiating expert. Vanderbilt ranked in the top 10 for the first time since 1947 for Clark Lee. You saw Eli Drinkwitz. Mizzou is 6-1 for the 3rd straight season. That's the first time in school history they have done that. And here's Jamal Roberts. Let's head back to Matt Barry. So the Tide trying to win on the road. Mizzou trying to do the same here. And in Fontanet might be bringing a blitz off the edge. He hangs in no man's land, and that allows time for Bo Pribula to find Marquise Johnson for a first down.
It's a nice job of Pribula just staying patient and allowing Marquise Johnson to just uncover behind that hook curl defender. And you see he just throws it right in behind Miles Capers, one of the pass rushing specialists for this Vanderbilt defense. Pick up the first down, continue to move the chains.
Plenty of time on the play clock. And Pribula might be changing the play with 7 to get it off. Throws one outside. And a modest gain to Joshua Manning. Now, not only 6-1 for 3 straight years now for Mizzou, but they have back-to-back 10-win seasons the last 2 years, and yet they were unranked to start the year. You have to go back to 1984 in Georgia, the last time an SEC team had back-to-back 10-win seasons, and following that wasn't ranked in the preseason. And normally in this league, if you have back-to-back 10-win seasons, you're a top 15 team next year.
Don't think Missouri's not using that as fuel. They know that they're being disrespected. They want to show they're one of the better teams in the country.
Bull rush for Roberts to pick up the first down, and they played that way so far.
Absolutely. And they have a nice 1-2 punch now at running back. It isn't all Ahmad Hardy. Jamal Roberts is a load himself at 6 foot, 212 pounds, and he has got home run speed.
Screen, Kevin Coleman Jr. gets loose down the sideline. Let's see where he stepped out. Right at the line to gain. Should be another Tigers first down.
And that's what Kevin Coleman Jr. does. He is the slot player. He is the catch and run player. Wide receiver screens, wide receiver shallows, and he is as quick as a video game. And if you are not secure with your tackling fundamentals and you are not sound, he will make you look silly.
Play action. Pribula, clean look. There's the crosser. There's Kevin Coleman Jr. again. Another video game bounce around inside the 35 to the 34 of Vanderbilt.
And this is how the play action passing game works. Watch the second level defenders. Watch them all take 2 steps forward off of this play action look. And look at the window it opens. Just as clear as day. As a quarterback, that's exactly what you want. As a play caller, that's how you draw it up. That's how you get your quarterback settled in with easy completions. And right now, Missouri's kind of putting some plays together. They've got Vanderbilt on their heels.
Kevin Coleman Jr. was at Mississippi State last year. Toriano Pride recruited him after the game to Mizzou. Here's Roberts into the secondary. No, lost his footing.
That wide zone, the zone stretch, just looking for a crease to get to the second level and then just start to slash and slice up the defense. And you can see this offensive line looks much different this week than it did last week against Auburn. They're coming off the line with much more authority, getting some movement at the point of attack. If you're Vanderbilt right now, you're saying to one another in the huddle, we've got to shut down this run game because it's starting to trickle into this play-action passing game, and that's exactly what you don't want.
Jamal Roberts stays in as the primary tailback. Rabula, nice fake. Norfleet. He might be an NFL tight end. He shows up for the first time, and C.J. Hurd brought him down short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
And that's the natural play call off the wide zone. Then just run the boot pass, try to get the pass, get the ball to Norfleet, who was a fantastic tight end. You're right, Bob. But just a good open field tackle by C.J. Hurd. Now you're sitting here in 3rd and short. This is where you want to be if you're Missouri, because you've got a dual threat quarterback in Prabula who can pick up first downs with his legs.
Throw for 3 on 3rd down. Prabula fakes the toss. Did he get there? It looks like he did. First down. Quarterback run, and a designed run at that. Langston Patterson, Brian Longwell sandwiched Prabula, but he moves the chains.
It's just a nice job of them going tackle over, running a little unbalanced line look, bringing over Caden Green, the left tackle, to the right side. So in effect, they had 3 offensive linemen to the right of the center, and they just lean on all that mass to just get movement at the point of attack, and Prabula sticks it up in there for a first down.
10th play of the drive. Tight formation. Roberts. It's tough to bring down. He's number 11 in the SEC in rushing yards, as the backup to Ahmad Hardy, who's number 1. So that tandem, it's the best tandem in the SEC. The only other running back tandem in college football coming into this week that average more yards per game, Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price at Notre Dame. This is the number 2 running back tandem in football.
Yeah, they've given teams some problems now. With this 2 tight end, 12 personnel that they have on the football field right now, they have really run the football effectively.
It's Roberts in motion. Prabula fakes it to him, turns the corner, flag down. Prabula inside the 5, looking for the end zone. He's short down to the 1, but a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul, tripping, 56 offense. 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Wow, a personal foul against Vanderbilt pushed them out of field goal range. This is a very big call on Dominic Giudice, the left guard for Mizzou.
You're going to see him. He's going to try and cut that 2 technique, the defensive tackle who's lined up right over his nose. And as he misses him, he then swings his leg up in the air, trying to get Glenn Seabrooks III on the ground. You're going to see it right here. He tries to cut him and cut him off. And you see the right leg come up in the air.
And Jerry McGinn is our officiating expert. Jerry, there might be some folks at home saying, well, he didn't trip him. The player didn't fall. Does that not matter?
No, it doesn't matter at all. He lifted his leg up. He was trying to trip him. That was a very good call by the referee.
So Prabula to the sideline, and there, the first time we see the freshman, Donovan Olubade, who you, Lewis, had your eyes on all week when you watched this Mizzou offense. He's a good-looking freshman.
This kid's a freaking stud. He is a stud. Olubade is the truth now. He is big. He's got a great catch radius. In crunch time, they have gone to him the past 2 weeks because of his one-on-one ability. And he is going to play a big role in this football game here today.
3rd down and 12. Blitz coming. Prabula avoids it. He gets out of the pocket, but he's tracked down from behind, shy of the 20-yard line. Line is sunk. He grew up in Germany and began playing football at age 15. Finds himself now playing defensive line in the SEC. He made the tackle, and Missouri preserves field goal range. But they've got Robert Meyer, who came to Mizzou as a preferred walk-on as a true freshman. Remember, Blake Craig, their regular field goal kicker, tore his ACL all the way back to start the season. So this is a true freshman who missed one in overtime last week, forcing a second overtime. But he doesn't miss here. The first points of the game belong to Missouri. They've got the lead. The Taco Bell Live Ma student section filling up early today. Trust us, And these guys have been awake for a long time. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Mas Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? A lot of those students, you can see some of them are wearing the Home Depot helmets from game day. They started to line up for game day, I was told, at noon yesterday.
Hey, that's
yesterday.
That's dedication, man. That's dedication. This is a big-time game. They realize they're in the midst of a big-time season. They're going to absolutely take advantage of everything.
Return for Trey Richardson. Out to the 25-yard line. So after a 7-minute and 48-second Missouri drive, Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia have it back. Give you today's playbook, brought to you by Flyhouse.
Yeah, this Missouri defensive line, starting with Zion Young. We said that they had to affect this football game, both in the run game and the pass game. You see Zion Young right there just making the play in space. And then just watch the pass rushing tandem of Marquise Gracial and Sterling Webb. Gracial gets the penetration. Sterling Webb does a nice counter out of his initial pass rush and gets the sack or tackle for a loss. They're going to have to continue to do that here today to keep this high-powered Vandy offense in check.
It's been a while since we saw the Vanderbilt offense. A nearly 8-minute drive for Missouri for a field goal to give them the early lead. Pavia. He's going to throw one to Trey Richardson. Over his shoulder, he makes the catch. Was he out of bounds? He was, according to the near side official, did not get a foot down.
That is a heck of a throw by Pavia. And great concentration by Trey Richardson. Just can't get. Oh, he might have got that left foot down. He may have gotten it down.
On the field is an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
You can't do it any better than this. Just look at the window. He puts it in, and here's the left foot. It hits before the right foot. That's a catch.
No doubt.
That is a beautiful throw by Diego Pavia.
The entire Vanderbilt sideline is already celebrating because they saw this replay up on the big board. And Jerry McGinn, this looks to be pretty clear-cut.
Lewis, I agree with you. This is a great catch. He toe taps with that left foot. He maintains control of the ball. He has possession. They should flip this pretty quickly.
Just look at the location on that throw. How Pavia puts it on the outside shoulder. So the corner, Stephen Hall, can't get his right arm up. There's, you see the left foot, and you see the rubber pellets on the turf. You can't place the ball any better than that. That's what you need from your stud quarterback to get this offense going.
After further review, it is a completed pass at the 38-yard line. The receiver had firm control, and his back foot was inbounds. First down.
Well, Chris Budden, the Vanderbilt offense, they're back to work.
Yeah, the messaging down here has been don't panic. While the goal was to start fast, there is still so much ahead of us. During that Missouri 8-minute drive, the offensive line for Vanderbilt spent the entire time dissecting film. Then Diego Pavia came up and said, it's okay, guys, we will get this rolling. For a captain and a quarterback that can usually be very fiery, was very in control.
And it's amazing, that last hookup, Diego Pavia, no offers out of high school, goes to junior college. Trey Richardson, he's a transfer from a Division II school, Washburn. And they just hooked up here in the SEC. And junior Sherrill steps out of bounds. Only 2 yards shy of another Vanderbilt first down.
There they go, trying to go through a little bit of tempo, keep Missouri on their heels, maybe try and tire out this pass rush a little. Start pressing on the accelerator.
First down catch. Simple little button hook to Eli Stowers.
Missouri's defense laying off, playing some soft zone coverage, man-to-man coverage with the safety in the middle of the field. They're just taking what they're giving them.
The fastest tempo we've seen so far. Seam shot. Climbing the ladder. Eli Stowers. First and goal.
That's where that 6'4" frame and that fantastic athletic ability comes into play. Just watch him, just a jab step outside, and he's right up the seam, climbing the ladder. That's why he's going to be a first rounder.
Pavia, this time, no time to throw. And he just eats it. Damon Wilson was there.
This is where Vanderbilt gets so dangerous here in the red zone. You see 37 drives, 30 touchdowns. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they have great pass catchers, great size down here. Junior Sherrill been the guy that really has been the go-to guy with his ability to win one-on-one. You just wonder who Tim Beck's going to dial up here. Is it going to be Eli Stowers? Cole Spence had a touchdown last week, the 6'7" tight end. He's in the game down here at the bottom of the screen.
They got this diamond formation with 3 backs surrounding Pavia. He wants to throw. Flag down. Pavia. A little juke at the 5. Pavia gets a block. If this one's coming back, it's a shame because it's a touchdown. There are flags everywhere. 3 separate flags thrown on the play.
Yeah, I think this is coming back. I think the first flag is going to be on Bryce Henderson, the right tackle.
Well, as the play-by-play guy, I object. That would have been a fun play to call. He's a fun player to watch. You see, even on plays you know are coming back.
You see, initially he was trying to go to his guy, Junior Sherrill, at the top of the screen, one-on-one, and he was locked down. And then it just turned into a backyard play, which Pavia is just so good at.
We've got 3 flags and a hat on the field, so there's a lot to sort out.
Both on the offense. Holding 55. Offense is declined. Holding offense number 0 is accepted. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So Junior Sherrill, the wide receiver, is the accepted hold.
You're going to see Sherrill initially, he falls down as he's trying to run his route. Now he's just trying to uncover. Then when he sees Pavia come back his way, you see the right hand. It has a hold of Toriano Pride, the corner. That's what happens sometimes in these extended plays when you have quarterbacks that are so creative like Pavia. You're going to have some of these penalties.
It's 2nd and goal, but all the way back out at the 18-yard line. Counter handoff. Alexander spins down to about the 15. Picked up 3.
See, just rushing the 3, keeping eyes on the quarterback, playing some zone coverage, keeping eyes on Pavia. Pavia wants you to play man-to-man, so when you turn your back, if they're throwing the football, he'll take off and run. That's just a nice job by the linebackers of rallying Khalil Jacobs. Nice open field tackle. Now you got him here in a 3rd down situation. Only 1 for 4 today. What does defensive coordinator Corey Batoon draw up? The one thing you know he's going to draw up, he's going to say, pass rushers, go get them. That can eliminate everything.
Flags down again. It's going to be a false start. And then Pavia gets hit after the whistle by Darius Smith. And Smith's going to claim he didn't hear the whistle.
Before the snap, false start. Offense 55. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, the last time Vanderbilt was down in plus territory, a big penalty took them out of field goal range.
Yeah,
and they're backing up here.
It's right tackle Bryce Henderson just trying to get out into his kick slide a little early. He knows that this defensive line is going to be tuned up and really trying to rush the passer. And then you see Darius Smith trying to hold Pavia up.
So now it's 3rd down and goal from the 20. So in spite of the fact that Vanderbilt is 2nd best in America on 3rd down, this is a different situation. 3rd and goal. And 20 yards to go. Pavia rolling. And just dirts it.
It's a frustrating series for Vanderbilt. The way they move the football down the field, put a little tempo in, really got some things going, and then kind of had some self-inflicted penalties and just start going backwards. Give Missouri defense credit as well.
As much as Missouri's kicking game has been obviously in flux since opening day. Brock Taylor has been rock solid for Vanderbilt. He has made 17 consecutive kicks, this one from 38. And we're tied. And that takes us right down to the 2-minute timeout. 3-3, 2 minutes before halftime in this top 15 matchup here in Nashville.
I'm Matt Barry. Coming up in the Lexus halftime report, Alabama's caught in a tight one on the road against South Carolina. We'll have highlights of that. Plus, Ole Miss goes on the road against Oklahoma, saves their season. And Texas and Arch, they are at Mississippi State. They are all tied up. Wild afternoon in the SEC. We'll have highlights coming up.
Well, when is it not a wild afternoon in the SEC?
I mean, it is down to the wire football week after week, game after game. Parity reigns supreme now in college football. That's exactly the way you should want it as a viewer.
It lands off the foot of Taylor about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Tied at 3. 2 minutes to go in the first half. A 7-minute and 48-second time drive for Missouri that produced the field goal that got them on the board. And then Vanderbilt answered, but penalties take them from an inside the 10-yard line goal-to-go situation, Lewis, to having to kick a relatively long field goal themselves.
Yeah, they really did hurt themselves. They started to use some tempo, as we had mentioned, find the rhythm. And now defensively, Missouri has started to find some rhythm. Vanderbilt has to find a way to kind of shut this down.
Direct snap to Kevin Coleman. And he faked the end around to Prabula, and he's down the sideline. Coleman stays in bounds. Hit from behind hard, but he is almost to the 40-yard line of Vanderbilt. Brian Longwell finally made the stop.
You just see Vanderbilt is just soft on the edge. They don't have any run support. As you can see, the nickel defender, Brandon Fontenette, never comes up and really sets the edge, and they are out the gate.
Jamal Roberts into a pile at the 40 for a gain of 1.
You have got to be sound in terms of your run force principles when you're playing this Missouri offense. It is not by accident that this team came into this week averaging almost 245 yards per game rushing the football, which is #1 in the SEC, top 10 in college football. You have got to be on it.
And Eli Drinkwitz's team not rushing. They have all 3 timeouts. Brett Norfleet in motion. Prabula underneath. Coleman makes the catch. See if the timeout is spent here. Eli Drinkwitz not coming down the sideline with any sense of urgency. It'll be 3rd down. Prabula has hit on 7 straight completions. And with 55 seconds to go, 3rd and 4.
Spreading the formation a little bit. You see the tight end flexed out like a wideout.
Blitz picked up. Prabula. He's going to try to run for it. Flag thrown behind the play. And boy, did Bo Prabula take a hit. Miles Capers drilled him at the 30-yard line. It's good to see him get up. But it's going to be a holding call against Missouri.
Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's big Caden Green, the left tackle. You see him right here. See him just go back into a pass set, and then as Prabula takes off and runs, again, we've seen it many different times. You start to lose control of the defender. You instinctively want to grab. Self-inflicted penalties, self-inflicted wounds, hurting both offenses here recently. Now you got a 3rd and long situation. Here come all the bodies at the line of scrimmage.
Was a timeout called?
Timeout Vanderbilt. The first of the half. 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 34 seconds. 3-4.
So let's have now a quick word from Cheez-It.
Okay, Cheese. 50-yarder for the win.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Ice the kicker.
Something better. Terry.
Did you just get hired?
Dude entered the portal and came out a legend. Want it, need it, cheese it.
Two high-scoring offenses, but two really good defenses. And so far, Bob Wischusen, Louis Riddick, Chris Budden with us as well. Not really to your surprise, the defenses have won out so far.
No, you're not. Look, Missouri really does dominate the line of scrimmage defensively. You see how fast and how physical their defenders are up front. And they can put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and Pavia is feeling that right now. But for Vanderbilt, it's all about deception, right? I mean, they give you so many different looks. I mean, they're physical in their own right, don't get me wrong. But they can present a lot of problems as you take a look at Steve Gregory, the defensive coordinator, and his tremendous background that he has both as a player and as a coach now. Perbuela's having to figure it all out on the run.
No flag. Looked like an early start. Perbula launches one to the sideline and missed Kevin Coleman. And they are not in field goal range. Nick Rinaldi with some pressure.
And then there again, they have 6 up on the line of scrimmage, and they drop out and just rush 4. And then Perbula trying to escape out right outside the pocket and see if he can find an open receiver down the field. Again, think about it with Bo Perbula. Had only attempted 56 passes during his time at Penn State before he transferred here to Missouri. And he's playing in the SEC, and he acknowledged the fact that every game is a learning experience for him in the best conference in college football.
Martel Height, fair catch inside the 10-yard line. Only 22 seconds left before halftime. For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. Well, Vanderbilt starts the third quarter with the ball. So I can't imagine this is going to be much other than just putting it here in the freezer, Lewis, and getting this game to halftime tied at 3.
Yeah, protecting the football. Do not give Missouri any kind of extra opportunities here in a game that's going to really be a one-score game more than likely when it's all said and done. The defense is really playing well here today. The offenses have had their moments. You see Pavia just going to take a knee and go into this locker room and come back out.
Unless Missouri calls timeout, they've got 3, but they are not going to use either of them. So it will be a 3-3 tie at halftime. Again, a top 15 matchup. And what you would expect in the SEC, nip and tuck between Missouri and Vanderbilt. Let's head down to Chris.
Coach, those last 2 possessions, you've been able to move the ball, but didn't come away with touchdowns. What do you need cleaned up in the second half?
Well, the penalties have killed us. Obviously, we were set up for points, and then we got a couple penalties there on the second to last drive. We'll be okay. We just got to be patient with our offense. We got to get back to it here. We'll have a possession coming out in the second half. That'll be a big one.
Defensively, what have you guys done that have given Missouri some fits?
Well, I mean, I've liked the way we played. I think we played well on third down. Obviously, a couple of chunk runs there that we've downed, but there at the end of half, I would have liked to have seen us, pin them, get them to punt a little earlier. But I'm pleased with the performance. It's going to take that from here on out to win the game.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Exactly the even-tempered answers that you would expect from Clark Lee. Tied at 3, halftime here at Vanderbilt. Time for the halftime report. Joey Galloway and E.J. Manuel standing by with Matt Barry.
Welcome back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football presented by Chili's. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Tied at 3. Start of the third quarter. A top 15 matchup between Vanderbilt and Missouri. Now, Missouri won the toss and took the football. So it will be Vanderbilt that will start the third quarter with the ball. And we'll see if either of these two offenses can flip a switch and score some points. Bob Wischusen, Louis Riddick, Chris Budden. It's been tough sledding against these two defenses. Of course, it's two defenses, neither of which, Louis, allows more than 20 points a game.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's not that much of a shock. Vanderbilt started to show some life as far as when they went to the tempo here before the end of the first half. Missouri just got to come out and run the football like they were, continue to work the play-action passing game.
And Trey Richardson doesn't get much on the return. All right, offensive adjustments to try and move the ball and score some points for both of these teams against two defenses that played very well in the first half.
Yeah, I think if you're Vanderbilt right now, Clark Lee alluded to it before the end of the first half. He said, look, they got to stop hurting themselves. They went to some tempo. They really started to hit some plays. And Pavia looked like he was really starting to settle into a groove. If you're Missouri, you want to continue to run the football. Really use that two-headed monster at the running back position. And then let Bo Previola just execute the play-action passing game, sprinkle in some runs. This is going to come down to a last possession. These are two good football teams that are very evenly matched.
Pavia hands one up the middle to Cedric Alexander. We go down to Chris.
Spoke with Eli Drinkwitz coming out of the locker room. He said, we've been in this situation so many times. We just have to be able to stay true to ourselves offensively. Have to be able to sustain drives and get in the open space. Feels like Vanderbilt has not been able to tackle them in space. He said, on this drive, I really like what our ability has been able to do to limit the run game. But if they get back into tempo, we need to not panic.
When they went up tempo, it seemed like that was when Vanderbilt had their most success offensively. They're grinding the play clock down here. Again, Cedric Alexander. He is planted. Sterling Webb and Josiah Trotter, who hits like his dad used to.
But Jeremiah Trotter was an absolute beast during his time with the Philadelphia Eagles. We were on the same flight down here from Philadelphia to Nashville, and you can see Jeremiah Trotter there. He was an absolute stud, and his son is a chip off the old block. This young man plays the game with tremendous instincts, great hitting ability, and you saw it right there. He has really had a nice season so far for Missouri.
Both teams have struggled on third down. Only one third down conversion apiece. They flex out Stowers. Empty backfield for Pavia. Five-man rush. Tipped ball. Intercepted. Picked off by Damon Wilson off the deflected Pavia pass. Did it pop back out at the end? There's a scramble for the ball. I'm not sure if Wilson didn't cough it up before he went down.
I think that may have been a heck of an effort play on the part of Trent Richardson, or Trey Richardson, to try and strip Damon Wilson.
Who's got the ball?
Damon Wilson is running off the football field.
Trey Richardson has it in his hands. And the offense for Vanderbilt staying on the field.
Ruling on the field is an interception by the defense and a return. And the ball carrier down before the ball came loose. First down, Missouri.
That gives Missouri the ball off the first giveaway.
You're going to see Damon Wilson there as Trey Richardson comes in with the perfect strip technique. They're saying he was down before the ball came out. Knee is on the ground. Looks like the left knee is on the ground.
The previous play is under further review.
Now, if they were to rule that a fumble, they would also have to rule that Trey Richardson had clear recovery.
You see,
it was a very quick pileup. Not sure you're going to be able to see him recover the football cleanly. That's very close. At least in terms of it being a fumble.
Yeah.
But the recovery becomes an issue as well if they call him down. There's the ball right at the hip of Trey Richardson. All right, Jerry McGinn, we're going to leave this to you and let you diagnose it. See if you think Vanderbilt has a case here to have the football.
They do have a case, but the ruling on the field was that the defender was down with possession with the ball. So with that in mind, replay's they're going to need indisputable video evidence, which I really, it's extremely too close to say one way or the other. They're going to have to leave it as Missouri's ball.
And Jerry, again, wouldn't they need two pieces of indisputable evidence? A, the fumble, and B, because they called him down, clear recovery to even give the ball to Vanderbilt?
That is correct. Yes.
So that's
a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to overcome for Vanderbilt. This is going to stand. They're going to uphold the call on the field. You're in a scrum there. You can't tell who has the ball.
Yep. Lewis, you said it, the perfect strip technique for Trey Richardson had that been ruled a fumble.
It sure was. It sure was. But backing it up even further, That's just what you expect from this Missouri defense and this defensive line. Chris McClellan with the batted pass, and then Damon Wilson just continuing to run to the football and break on the throw. He finds himself in the right place at the right time. Comes down hard on that left shoulder when he got up after that play. He was moving around his upper body. You can see he falls hard on his left arm as he tries to brace for contact right there.
Is the ball out, first of all? And second of all, can you say indisputably it's clear recovery by Trey Richardson? You can make a case for both. And that might be why this is taking so long. This is a long conversation as they continue to look at different angles of this play. And this is the type of play in a 3-3 game that might flip everything.
It just doesn't look indisputable, though.
Let's see.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down, Missouri.
So Chris McClellan with the tip. Damon Wilson with the pick. A great effort by Vanderbilt wide receiver Trey Richardson to see if he could snatch the ball back. But Missouri has it, knocking on the door of the red zone in a 3-3 tie.
If you're Vanderbilt's defense, these are these sudden change situations that you know Clark Lee, as you see him there, just really laying into the referees. He's coached his teams relentlessly on these situations. They have got to respond, and if you're Missouri, you've got to find a way to get this in for 6.
Jet sweep, Kevin Coleman to the 10-yard line. It's first and goal.
Eli Drinkwitz, making good on his promise to try and get this defense of Vanderbilt into space where maybe they have an advantage as far as making some guys miss in the open field. You see their red zone success this season. Steve Gregory, defensive coordinator for Vanderbilt, tries to figure out what can I do? How can I stop this running game that seems to be getting ramped up?
Ahmad Hardy now to the 5-yard line and inside the 5, down to about the 3. He picks up 7, second down and goal.
So they got those big tight ends in the game. They got 86 Jordan Harris and Brett Norfleet, both of them going 6'4", 6'5 plus, 260 pounds plus. It's like having 7 offensive linemen on the field. Just trying to secure the edge and then let Ahmad Hardy go to work.
They just brought 2 more in.
I mean, those are some big bodies. Typically, though, a lot of times you got to be aware of the pass here because they're trying to lull you to sleep.
They run it with Hardy. 4 tight ends on the field from Missouri. And Vanderbilt with Brian Longwell and Langston Patterson shut the door. It's third down and goal.
It's a great job by the linebackers of getting over the top. As you mentioned, Longwell and Patterson just flowing to the football. It's a key third down. This is where you got to have great eyes on defense. You know here, play action, especially with the way this team runs the football, as athletic as Fabula is out on the perimeter. You got to be careful. Keep your eye on Brett Norfleet, number 87, the tight end. This is where his range and catch radius, and also Donovan Olubide, number 1, one-on-one at the bottom of the screen.
Drinkwitz wants a timeout. He got it just before the snap. Eli Drinkwitz just ran about a 4.5 40.
Timeout, Missouri.
To get down the sideline.
First of the half.
And frantically call a timeout before the third and goal snap, which we will have in a moment. Third down and goal after the timeout. 11:27 to go, third quarter, a 3-3 tie here at Vanderbilt in this matchup of top 15 teams. And now, after the timeout, Donovan Olubide on the opposite side of the field from where he was a moment ago.
Got to keep an eye on him.
Fabula rolls away from him. He wants the throwback. He's in trouble. Dangerous throw, incomplete. Oh, Kobe Taylor might have had a chance at a pick 6. Brian Longwell put the pressure on. Now what do you do? Fourth and goal.
Fabula was looking to see if he could get the ball to Brett Norfleet out here to the right. 87, you see he's going to block and then release. And then he tries to come back opposite side to Olubide, but he's blocking, locked up against the corner, Colby Taylor.
And Eli Drinkwitz, he doesn't want 3, he wants 7. They're going for it.
I think here, You're going to trust your players. Who do you go to? Do you give it to Ahmad Hardy, or are you going to go one-on-one with Olubade at the top of the screen?
Fake toss. Prabula. Time back. That's a 4th down stop for Vanderbilt. Miles Capers led the charge.
I mean, point of attack.
And Prabula's hurt.
Miles Capers, Joshua Singh. Just watch them just all at the point of attack. They just don't get any movement. That's as good of a play as you can ask a defensive end to make in Miles Capers.
And Prabula's leg might have gotten trapped underneath some of those bodies that were down at his feet. And he is still down, and they're looking at his left leg. We'll step aside. Bo Prabula has just been loaded on the cart with an air cast on his leg. As on that 4th down stop, he was very awkwardly bent backwards with his leg trapped underneath bodies down at his feet. And the training staff just able to get him off the field and on the card. This is just a devastating injury for the young man.
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal. You hate it for him. Such a great kid. Getting his opportunity to play here in the SEC, you just hope he's as good as he possibly can be and can get healthy as quickly as he possibly can. It's just not a good look here as they put him in the wheelchair and take him off the field.
He came to Missouri with no promise necessarily of being the starting quarterback from Penn State. He was in a camp battle all the way until the start of the season with Sam Horn, but then Sam Horn was lost long-term in the opener on the only play he played. So now they'll be down to a true freshman in Matt Zollers to take over at quarterback. And diving out of the end zone, Zion Young made the stop after a gain of maybe a half yard by Alexander. They're just trying to buy some breathing room.
Absolutely. Look, they're going to see the true freshman Zollers, who's only thrown the ball 6 times, really hasn't even attempted a pass down the field so far, you know, this season. Here he is on Vanderbilt against this defense that's just so multiple. They're going to have to really rely on the run game in this defense.
Play clock down to 5 for Pavia. Throws it wide, incomplete. Junior Sherrill unable to haul that in. It'll be 3rd down and 9 down to Chris Boat.
We'll find out any information we can on Bo Prabula, but I was watching him as he went into the tunnel, and he was never screaming in pain, wasn't wincing. You could tell he was just dejected and frustrated with the situation, but in terms of pain, he was not visibly showing signs of discomfort.
Well, we'll certainly wish the best for him. And now a very stingy Missouri defense has Vanderbilt up against it. 3rd down and long inside the 2. Pavia once again to throw. Rolling out to the sideline. Well short of the 1st down. Richie Hoskins, he's just going to create a little bit of breathing room for the punt group.
Critical set of downs for Missouri's defense. Knowing that the true freshman's coming in, that's really going to probably be a ground and pound type of situation. And if you're Vanderbilt defensively, you have to prepare for that, a heavy dose of the run game. And if you're Clark Lee, you're just trying to figure out how to get some momentum going for this offense right now against a Missouri defense that is just really dialed in and locked in.
Yeah, Lewis, when Eli Drinkwitz decides to go for it on 4th down, he's banking that his defense is going to go out and do exactly what they just did if you fail to make it. As Kevin Coleman, returnable from the 44, gets to the sideline, gets tripped up, lost the ball. Hurd's got it. Was he down? It looked like he was. Langston Patterson got a hand on the ball. C.J. Hurd, it looked like recovered, but is this a fumble? Yeah, he's down.
Down before the ball came loose. 1st down, Missouri.
So let's go back and once again take a look at what happened to Bo Prabula as he is knocked out of the game, an air cast placed on his leg.
You see, he just fakes the toss. And you're going to see the left leg. It just gets trapped underneath as the defensive tackle, Joshua Singh, has a hold of it. And then he gets bent backwards. It's just a situation that is just a nightmare situation for you as a ball carrier to get trapped in a pileup like that and then get bent backwards. For Matt Zollers, it's a heck of an opportunity now. Pocket passer, big, tall, strong in the pocket. Just going to have to be secure with the football. Make good decisions, lean on this running game, and just be judicious with his throws against a defense that's going to give him a bunch of different looks now. You can count on it.
Zollers missed most of his senior year of high school with an injury, so he hasn't played a lot of football. And he'll lean on Ahmad Hardy here. Nick Rinaldi and Corday Sidnor limit Ahmad Hardy to a gain of 1. Hardy has rushed for 100 or more yards in 11 of his last 14 games, going back to his days at Louisiana Monroe. And he'll certainly be the workhorse to try to be the security blanket for Zollers. Quick screen. Keith Johnson to the 45-yard line. Line is sunk. Made the tackle after a gain of only 2. So 3rd down and 7 with the true freshman at quarterback.
This is where you just want him to be secure with the football. You don't want him to force the ball in the double coverage, make bad decisions. And if you're Steve Gregory, the defensive coordinator for Vanderbilt, you're trying to change the look, trying to bring pressure, change up the look in the back end post-snap. And you're telling your defensive end, Sidnor and Capers, dial it up.
They bluff blitz. First down, nearly gotten by Kevin Coleman. He's a yard short. Brian Longwell was able to hustle over a strike thrown by Zollers, and now it's 4th down and 1 inside the 40-yard line, and Missouri will go for it again.
You got to trust your offensive line in this situation and trust your running backs. It's a nice throw by Matt Zollers to find Kevin Coleman against that zone coverage look. Ahmad Hardy, one of the very best in college football as far as breaking tackles, getting yardage after contact.
Hardy up the middle for the first down. They couldn't stop him that time. A 4th down conversion to keep the drive alive for Mizzou.
That's a nice job of the left side of the offensive line. Dominic Judy's just getting great push at the point of attack. And Hardy with the head of steam, just getting downhill immediately with this power running game. If you're Vanderbilt, you can't fall asleep here and think it's just going to be run, you know, quick passes. Matt Zollers can put the ball up. Play action passing game, you have to be aware of it.
Cut back lane, closed. Gain of 1 for Hardy.
Hardy on the carry.
Maybe 2. Brandon Fontanet, another tackle for Vanderbilt.
We set the play clock to 25 and hold for my whistle.
And this is a Missouri offense, number 7 in America running the football, number 6 in America on 3rd down because they have a lot of 3rd shorts, and number 4 in time of possession. They can lean on this to support a true freshman quarterback.
At some point against a defense as good as Vanderbilt's is, the quarterback's going to have to push the ball down the field.
A little shoulder fake, and they do find a little wheel route underthrown for Norfleet. Zollers could not put it on Norfleet cleanly. He was wide open.
Yeah, you got to make this throw. Norfleet, it's great play design. They fake the wide receiver screen and then just get Norfleet down the field there. It's a fake to the wide receiver screen. You just got to like step back, set your feet, and throw it and put it in a good spot.
3rd down and 8. Screen. Manning. It'll It'll be 4th down and 4. And even at the 30-yard line, I'm not sure Eli Drinkwitz would try a field goal. I don't know that he feels that field goal range comfortably for Robert Meyer is anything even outside about the 20, 25-yard line.
Yeah, he quickly made this decision and told the offense to stay on the field. This is a 4-down game more than likely from here on out. It's a heck of a situation for the young freshman to be in. He's got to put this ball up and make a good decision.
Again, a 4-man rush. Zollers. Hauled in by Joshua Manning. 1st down in the red zone for Missouri. Another 4th down conversion.
Nice job against man-to-man coverage. You're going to see them run kind of a mesh concept against man coverage, hoping the defenders pick one another off. And then Joshua Manning goes up high and pulls the ball down.
Jamal Roberts to the sideline. Broke a tackle just to get back close to the line of scrimmage.
What a heck of a throw by Matt Zollers, just standing in there, trying to remain composed here on the road in the SEC. A lot on the line. Eli Drinkwitz is trying to figure out the right rhythm here. Him and Kirby Moore, the offensive coordinator for this freshman. They know they can't just run the ball every single play. Here they put him in empty. Bring the running back in the backfield.
Kevin Coleman Jr. off the field, limped off with what looked like a bit of an ankle tweak after that last play. 10th play of the drive. This time it's a blitz. Zollers to the outside, incomplete. Whistled it right through Marquise Johnson's hands. So now it's 3rd down and 10 at the 15-yard line. From here, they probably would be in field goal range. Kevin Coleman is back on the field. Eli Drinkwitz said we're basically the 20-yard line and in.
Yep.
That's where we need to get to if we're confident we're going to make a field goal.
I think right now they're just trying to figure out what plays can the young quarterback really execute. What makes him comfortable? Who do we need to get the ball to?
Up the middle, Jamal Roberts. 4 yards. 4th and 6, and now the field goal group comes out. And Robert Meyer, the true freshman preferred walk-on, will try and give Missouri the lead back.
You can feel the strain that's really probably going through the coaching staff of Missouri right now on the road in this tie ball game with the freshman in there. Now, how do we make the most opportunistic calls for this young man to help our offense achieve? And can we convert here now on this field goal attempt?
29 yards out.
That's going to add to the strain. That's exactly the situation you don't want to be in. And here again, special teams, that 3rd phase, something that almost cost them a week ago against Auburn. Now the score remains tied.
On this top 15 matchup and saying, oh, 3-3, 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. This has been a boring game. It has not been. There have been a ton of momentum changes, and we still have 19 minutes to go. MK Young bounces it outside, MK Young down the sideline. Jalen Catalon in pursuit. Can he save a touchdown? He cannot. House call. And Vanderbilt's got the lead.
Wait till you take a look at this play, folks. This is team offense at its best. It's a great play design. A little bit of deception and just some good old-fashioned blocking out on the perimeter.
After 2 trips One to the 2-yard line, one inside the 15-yard line for Missouri. No points. This is the answer for Vanderbilt.
Watch the double pull here. Watch what it does to Josiah Trotter, and then watch the blocking right here at the point of attack, in particular by Tristan Brown. Just watch what happens here. Watch Josiah Trotter. He just takes one step down, which gives Eli Stowers the angle, and then it's Tristan Brown with the block on the corner, and then it's out the gate for Kylan Young, who's as smooth and as explosive as it gets. He and Cedric Alexander, just a heck of a 1-2 punch. Again, the deception by the double pullers gets Trotter to just hesitate just a bit. And then MK Young is out the gate, just striding it out like he's running the 100-meter dash. And you see him then, it's full throttle, baby. And that's the kind of explosive plays that Clark Lee was looking for. He said explosives and turnovers and winning the point of attack would win this game. There's the explosive play they were looking for.
When Clark Lee got Tim Beck and Jerry Kill to come from New Mexico State and join his coaching staff, they didn't just bring Diego Pavia and Eli Stowers along. MK Young is another part of that group from New Mexico State to join the Commodores, and he gives them the lead. Coming up tonight, 7:30 Eastern on ABC and the all-new ESPN app. A huge game in Death Valley. LSU trying to keep their season alive as they take on Texas A&M. We'll take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Prudential. So a road test for the Aggies tonight in Death Valley. A tight one right now for Alabama on the road against South Carolina. A tight one for Vanderbilt at home against Mizzou. An amazing survival for Ole Miss, a back-and-forth game with Oklahoma as well. That game was crazy.
It is a good time to be a college football fan. So many good games.
Ahmad Hardy goes backwards. Again, great penetration by Joshua Singh.
If you're Missouri right now, you're just trying to figure it out with Matt Zollers. As far as this freshman just trying to find his groove right now with the injury to Bo Pribula. We know that this is a heavy run football team, one of the best in the country, but they're going to have to put this ball up in the air. And he has got a tough test, Bob, against this defense, as you can see, giving him all kinds of pre-snap looks.
They'll run it on 2nd and 12, and there goes Hardy. First down and more, cut down by Martell Height. But not before he picked up 17 yards. That gets them out of the hole.
That's a beautifully blocked zone run. Just look at the offensive lineman. Get lateral and vertical, create some seams in the defensive front. And then Ahmad Hardy just downhill, just gaining steam, saying, hey, put it on me. Put it in my hands. Let's see if we can start rolling.
Hardy again, bouncing off tacklers. He's now up to 64 yards rushing, and we still have 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And again, Alabama and Auburn limited him to 52 and 58 yards running respectively the past 2 weeks. He's past that against Vanderbilt. We still have a quarter plus to play. So they have had enough, I guess, Lewis, in the running game that they'll probably feel like they can lean on it the rest of the way.
Oh, yeah,
with a true freshman.
He was looking over at the sideline going, give me some more. I'm starting to find my rhythm. Give me the football.
Dollars to throw. Collision, flags. Olubade, the intended receiver, and C.J. Hurd, it looks like will be flagged.
C.J. had a great break on it. You just got to try and find a way to clear the legs of the wide receiver, and he may have had an interception.
Pass interference, defense number 8. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Just watch C.J. Hurd. He reads this perfectly. He's already there. You just got to find a way to step over the feet and get your hands out in front and make the pick. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you get too good of a break and you just get tangled up. Fresh set of downs for Missouri.
Play action. Zollers, like a statue in the pocket, finds the crosser and changes the tight end. He's got 9 yards.
They were looking for the shot play down the field to Marquise Johnson. The corner, Martel Height, had it covered perfectly. They were trying to get one up over the top, and Drinkwitz told us yesterday, we're going to try and get Marquise Johnson loose down the field. And it's a great cat and mouse going on right now. Freshman quarterback in the game, on the road, having to take over this offense against this defense that's as complicated as you'll see.
Hardy has the first down. And at the very least, what does it tell you, Lewis, when they're dialing up a shot play with the true freshman quarterback? Obviously, they wanted to take a shot, right? It doesn't look like it is going to necessarily be put the ball in the freezer and just give it to Ahmad Hardy over and over again.
Well, Eli Drinkwitz knows that he's going to have to throw the football at some point to win this football game. He's going to have to put it up, and there you see offensive coordinator Kirby Moore up in the box. They're just trying to come up with a plan to get this ball in the end zone.
Final minute of the third. Play clock at 5.
Vanderbilt secondary communicating, trying to change the looks.
Hardy. Couple of yards. That should take us to the end of the third quarter, unless Missouri wants to run another play. They've got time to snap it, but they can also let the clock expire if they choose. They're getting lined up. Still 20 seconds on the clock. Blitz coming. Zollers. Well, he leaned into that throw to the 30-yard line. Again, it's Jude James.
And that is a heck of a throw by freshman Matt Zollers. He took a heck of a shot from Langston Patterson onto the 4th.
Change your quarterback from what you've seen so far. How has that changed what they're able to do offensively?
Well, I mean, they found some spaces out there. Obviously, they're committing to the run game, which we need to do a better job. When we get them all scheduled on first down, let's keep them all scheduled. But this is going to be a battle to finish. So this is a good team, and we're a good team, and we got to go get what we want.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Ahmad Hardy starts off the fourth quarter. What a run on 3rd and 2 down to the 15-yard line, carrying tacklers.
You can see why this young man is one of the best, if not the best, running backs in college football as far as yards after contact. There you see the hit previously that Matt Zollers had taken. Just standing in there delivering the football, and they ask him to throw it.
The leading rusher in the SEC. 4 more. Number 3 in America through the first 7 weeks in rushing is Ahmad Hardy. And this is also a Mizzou team that has come back to win 3 times this year. All the way back in week 2, they were down 21-8 in the first quarter to Kansas. Their largest comeback in 9 years. They won that one. They trailed South Carolina in the 3rd. They trailed Auburn by a touchdown in the 4th. Last week, they've been here before.
Ahmad Hardy was motioning over to the sideline earlier in this drive, saying, feed me the football.
Play action. Zollers lobs one. Back of the end zone. One-handed catch, but out of bounds was Colby Taylor. So too much air under that ball from Zollers. Maybe a blessing. It's 3rd down again.
I think he did that on purpose. He saw that that was going to be double covered. Didn't want to put the ball in harm's way. Just lived to fight another down.
With the play call here, Lewis, are you thinking 4-down territory? Do you even trust your field goal group?
Look, if I'm Eli Drinkwitz, I'm telling Kirby Moore, the offensive coordinator, we got to find a way to score a touchdown. So what's our best stuff down here in the red zone as far as throwing the football? Alubide's not on the field, so that's one option eliminated. Can we get the ball to Kevin Coleman in a catch-and-run situation, as elusive as he is?
Coleman was the motion man. The screen instead to Marquise Johnson. Getting a push. Forward progress stops at the 6. Guess what? It's 4th down and 2. Here we are again, another decision for Eli Drinkwitz. A field goal obviously pulls them within 4, but both coaches called these 4-point plays in this area of the field, right? The difference between a touchdown and a field goal.
Absolutely. And now you see Olubide, the fantastic freshman, he's back on the field. But sometimes it's about players over plays. And if I'm Eli Drinkwitz right now, I'm saying, look, I got to get the ball. I got to get number one a target. If he's one-on-one, I got to get him a target right now because he has made plays for me in big situations the past 2 weeks.
Zollers. Sliding catch is made in the end zone, a touchdown. Jude James, the tight end. And we're an extra point for Mizzou away from a tie.
That is a heck of a throw and catch. Then you see Jude James just go low, try and secure the ball. As he hits the ground, he's keeping two hands on it, making sure he leaves no doubt. But Matt Zollers just reading that play out. He had kind of like a double post concept, a double crosser concept. He had Jude James and he had the freshman Olubide coming across the field. He makes a great decision, puts the ball where it needs to be. That is a big, big response by Missouri.
And Meyer gets the point after. This is a true freshman quarterback to a redshirt freshman tight end. Crunch time in the SEC.
There you see the double crossers. He puts it low and away. Jude James, big time play.
Welcome back to Vanderbilt. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Top 15 matchup between Missouri and the Commodores. And the two teams have now traded second half touchdowns after the game was tied at 3 at the break. Bob Wischusen here with Lewis Riddick and Chris Budden. Missouri not known to share injury information, so Brett Norfleet, their tight end, is in the locker room trying to find out what the injury story is with him. But that led to Jude James, the redshirt freshman, all of a sudden appearing, scoring a touchdown. And how important is this game to both? Missouri, Vanderbilt, the winner, very much alive with a chance to reach the 12-team college football playoff. The loser, they would have a really tough hole to dig themselves out of, even only being a 2-loss team.
And the importance of this game cannot be understated. And really the big way in which freshman Matt Zollers is stepping up right now cannot be understated either. He had taken a big shot on that scoring drive in a pressure situation, and then he comes up with a big-time throw. Now can his defense respond and answer as well?
Cedric Alexander, 4 yards. And because of that home run hit by M.K. Young, that's only the 8th offensive play that Vanderbilt has run this half. So any rhythm for Diego Pavia, it's not there right now. And we are tied at 10 with 12.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this game is that, look, this Vanderbilt offense is so multiple. They can hit you in the passing game with Pavia and his brilliance, as well as run the football with their two-headed monsters that they have in M.K. Young and Cedric Alexander. So I think they'll be able to find their rhythm here pretty quickly. It seems like both of these teams have settled in real nicely as this game has progressed.
They run it again with Alexander. 3rd down, 3.5 coming here for Vanderbilt. Josiah Trotter, Marvin Burks Jr. combine on the stop for a team in Missouri. Again, is one of 3 teams in all of college football to be top 10 in total offense and total defense, along with Oregon and Indiana. So they are stingy.
This is where the defensive line has to come through, because this is where Pavia magic usually starts to rear its head in these 3rd down situations. You have to defend the initial read and then the second reaction play. The play that goes off script. Got to rush with lane integrity, play tight coverage in the back end if you're Missouri.
Richie Hoskins in motion. Pavia steps up. Pavia across his body, tipped, ball, incomplete. Junior Sherrill had it go off his hands, and it looked like Pavia, if he wanted to run for it, could have.
Yeah, there's just so much going on in this play. Chris McClellan initially just gets great pressure up the middle. Look how he comes right down the pike. Pavia has to flush up and out to his right. He's trying to hit his trusted wide receiver, Junior Sherrill, flashing across his face. Ball's a little bit behind him, trying to reach back and make a difficult catch.
And I guess it did look like Khalil Jacobs, the linebacker, had an angle on Pavia. Line drive punt. Kevin Coleman to the sideline, watches it sail out of bounds as Nick Haberer found the sideline. 24-yard line will be the starting point for Missouri.
ESPN College Football is presented by Chili's 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat.
A chance for both of these teams to have historic seasons. Vanderbilt's already made history, just getting to the top 10 for the first time since 1947. And for Mizzou, 6-1 for their third consecutive start. That puts them in position for maybe another 10-win season. They've done that back-to-back years, but a lot hinges on what happens in the next 11 minutes. We are tied at 10, and the true freshman Matt Zollers takes over off of the injury to Bo Pribula and throws the touchdown pass to Jude James. He's got it back now. Ahmad Hardy up the middle. He picks up a couple of yards. Chris Budden with an injury update.
Yeah, Missouri's still without this drive, without their tight end, Brett Norfleet, who is currently in the locker room being evaluated for an upper body injury from the Missouri staff.
And in his absence, Jude James has 3 catches for 21 yards and a touchdown.
You can't discount the loss of Brett Norfleet. He had 5 receiving touchdowns on the season, was a red zone threat. Exactly where Jude James stepped up. There's a lot of people having to step up for Missouri right now, namely the guy who I've already dubbed Baby Joe Flacco and Matt Zollers.
Ahmad Hardy across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Another tackle for Brian Longwell.
Every play just so critical right now. Eli Drinkwitz and Kirby Moore have to be precise with their play calls. What they know what the big-time runs are for Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts. They know what to call there. Is when you have to throw it against that defensive coordinator right there on your screen. And Steve Gregory, what are our best throws? What are our best route combinations? Matt Zollers has shown that he's up to the task.
Roll out for Zollers. He's going to try to run for it, and he'll get it. The true freshman with a 5-yard scramble and a first down.
Just a smart decision. You see there the play action fake. If it's not there, hey, tuck the ball down and get the first down. Make sure you secure it on contact. Go ahead and let them know that you picked up the first, young man. Play with confidence. On the road, SEC matchup. 8 for 11, 52 yards and a touchdown. That's a heck of a start. Long way to go yet in this ball game, but he seems like he's in control.
Jump cut for Jamal Roberts. Tackled by Martell Height. And this puts Missouri also, Lewis, well over 32 minutes time of possession, closing in on 33 minutes to the 18:38 of Vanderbilt. That's their bread and butter. They're number 4 in America in time of possession.
That's a great point. It just shows you that this running game, Ahmad Hardy, Jamal Roberts, it is formidable.
For Zollers. Slips one in the right flat. That time Jordan Harris, the tight end. Another answer with Brett Norfleet in the locker room.
Just look at the effect that the run game has. Watch what it does to the whole front 7. I mean, right now, if you're Jordan Harris, you're sitting there going, look, I have nothing but space. And this just helps the young quarterback just settle in and settle in. They're marrying up the run with the opportunistic passing game as well as you possibly can.
3rd down and 1. Right up the middle. The pile pushes. It's another Missouri first down.
And it just continues to grind the clock down, Bob, as you mentioned. Continues to keep the Vanderbilt offense and Diego Pavia on the sideline.
Jamal Roberts did it again. And number 20 grew up in St. Louis, dreamt of playing for Mizzou. He was 6 years old when College Game Day came to Mizzou, and the Tigers beat Oklahoma. He was a 9- and a 10-year-old when Missouri played in SEC championship games after they left the Big 12. Zollers under pressure. He's going to try and throw it away. And he got outside the tackle box. I think he did well to avoid that sack. And Corday Sidnor holding his left ankle.
It's a smart defensive play on the part of Vanderbilt in their secondary. They pick up the first down. You're at midfield. What are you told all the time as a coverage defender? Look for the play-action shot. And that's what they were trying to get. Trying to get Alubide up over the top.
Sidnor is hurt. We'll step aside. Kick off your NFL Sunday with the Countdown Crew at 10 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN. Before Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have an Aaron Rodgers reunion, as the Steelers will take on the Packers. And our Monday Night Football matchup, the Chiefs and Commanders, 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN. ESPN Deportes, the all-new ESPN app. Peyton and Eli once again on ESPN2. After the injury timeout. Blitz. Zollers at the mesh point. The ball was taken away. C.J. Hurd on a blitz. I think he's got the football. He does. Take away for Vanderbilt. A steal by C.J. Hurd.
Vanderbilt comes up with their patented 11-up look. Steve Gregory, that Brian Flores influence. Then they back out. You're going to see Hurd. You're going to see him right here. Just watch the cat and mouse, and then he gets ahead of steam and comes up. And at the mesh point, he just takes the football out of the hands of Jamal Roberts. I mean, that's a big-time play. You can see they're trying to... The exchange isn't clean. You can tell the quarterback, Matt Zollers, is trying to pull the ball out. Jamal Roberts doesn't have it secured. But C.J. Hurd says, hey, if neither of you two want it, I'll take it. And I'll give it back to my offense. That's just a big-time play. As you see Stephen Gregory congratulating C.J. Hurd on the sideline. Now, what can the Vanderbilt offense do with it?
Avia looking downfield for the freshman. And that's well out of bounds. He tried to hit Caleb Barnett. They tried to sneak the true freshman speedster out of the backfield on a wheel route. And Nicholas Rodriguez read it and ran right down the sideline with it.
That's going to be one of those plays that kind of goes unnoticed in the course of this football game. But that guy right there on your screen, Nicholas Rodriguez, that is a heck of a read and coverage execution on the part of a linebacker against one of the faster players on the Vanderbilt offense.
There goes Barnett in motion. Avia looking that way. He's going to try it again and just overthrows him. Barnett asking for a flag. And he is not going to get the answer he wants. Dalen Carnell that time was in coverage.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 11. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Wow, there was a flag though, and it's Langdon Kitchen who roughed Diego Pavia.
Yeah, this is an easy call to make. You're going to see Kitchen coming off the top of the screen. Watch his right arm. Right there, right across the face mask of Diego Pavia, trying to affect the throw as he's executing that bull rush against Isaiah Glass. It's just a critical mistake. Critical mistake.
Pavia on a keeper, cuts it upfield, pays the price. Picked up about 2.5.
This Missouri defense plays with such good eyes. They have really done a good job for the most part of keeping the dangerous Diego Pavia contained. He just puts so much pressure on you with his dual threat capabilities, the RPO game that they have. They're going to have to come up with some of their best stuff here. Just get the feeling, where's Eli Stowers? Is he going to make his presence felt? He had a big catch at the end of the first half. Just too good of an athlete, too good of a weapon to hold down.
Kylan Young hurdles and ends up upside down as Dalen Carnell cut his legs out. He lost a half yard. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
This Missouri defense, man, I mean, they are earning it. Watch Carnell just trigger right away immediately. Loses his balance, loses his footing. Still able to get a hit. But Mikhailin Young, as he's looking a little gimpy. Just a big star defender at 6'2", 225 pounds. Now it's time for the pass rush. It's time for the big guys up front. Can they affect the passer? Can Diego Pavia find an opening throwing this football?
Slam. It's there. His roommate, Eli Stowers, has the first down.
Said he was going to make his impact on this football game, and there he goes to his guy, Eli Stowers, just running the slant. They flex him out like a wide receiver. Look at him, just give him a little bit of a move at the top of the route. Secure the football, move the chains. Diego's looking right at him.
And New Mexico State, those two battled it out for the quarterback spot. Stowers becomes a tight end because Pavia won it, and now they're best friends playing together here at Vanderbilt. Circling in motion, Caleb Barnett. Pavia, the pitch. Barnett, the speed. A little dead leg move inside the 5-yard line. First and goal. Flag down back at the line of scrimmage, though.
Is this play going to come back? Are you going to get a holding penalty?
Holding. Offense number 53. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's the center, Jordan White.
This is just an unnecessary play on the part of Jordan White. The play has already declared. Barnett is already out the gate. You're going to see him. He reaches and grabs the leg of the defensive lineman right there, who would have had no impact on the play whatsoever.
Thank you.
So instead of first and goal at the 5, it's now first and 20, back outside the 25 at the 27-yard line. And up on 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go as well. Pavia looking for Junior Shirt. Flag out. That's going to give Vanderbilt a first down. Stephen Hall gets the flag.
Pass interference. Defense number 0. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
If you're Stephen Hall, you did everything exactly right from the beginning of the snap. And then at the end, the last third of the down, when you go to look back for the football, you feel the wide receiver separating from you, and your instinct is, I can't let him separate, I got to grab him. He had done everything perfectly. So that's 2 critical errors, one on the part of Vanderbilt, now on the part of Missouri. In a high-stakes game like this, is going to be which team makes the fewest number of mistakes in these critical situations.
Again, 2 tight ends load up right. And Gabe Fisher goes in motion. Kylan Young inside the 10-yard line. Remember, Missouri used a timeout earlier in the half. So they only have 2 left, and we're under 4 minutes to go.
Cedric Alexander comes back in the game. Richie Hoskins, number 5, slot receiver, who's just so crafty, working the middle of the field, his own holes, back in the game. Got big Cole Spence, the 6'7" tight end in the game. With so many different weapons they can go to.
Alexander. Turn back at about the 6-yard line. An enormous third down coming here for Vanderbilt. Khalil Jacobs made first contact. Now, the Commodores can get a first down inside the 2-yard line. If they do, well, then Missouri might be in a position where they have to start thinking about using their timeouts.
Absolutely.
Just to have time on the backside with the 2-minute timeout to help them.
You can see head coach Clark Lee is consulting with his guys on the sideline, trying to game this out, trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. and come up with maximum points, get this ball in the end zone.
They have to call timeout. The play clock had wound all the way down, and Diego Pavia saw it.
Timeout Vanderbilt. The first of the half. 30-second timeout.
It was about to be delay of game, and Diego Pavia calls timeout. 2 trips for Missouri, Lewis, down in the scoring zone. They come away empty on both, and that kind of set up the second half.
It sure did. Here in this 4th and goal situation, this was the play that maybe changed the entire game for Missouri, although freshman Matt Zollers has really come up big, and then they miss the field goal attempt. It has been something that has just been a thorn in their side. And then the big time, it's just explosive run by McKylan Young, who just takes it the distance. And then again, the freshman just coming up big, just staying poised, calm, and collected. Normal tight end, Brett Norfleet not in the football game, and Jude James just comes up big. There's a lot of action for a 10-10 game. A lot of action, a lot of twists and turns. And that's just in the second half.
And so much could be determined by this play here. 3rd down and 4. From the 6. Cedric Alexander in motion into the slot right. Pavia, straight quarterback run. Reaches the ball out at the goal line. Did he get in? He's short. Now that might work out well for Vanderbilt. They could take the clock all the way down to the 2-minute timeout. 1st and goal.
You're going to see Pavia just trying to stretch it out, try and get that ball across the goal. You see, he's down just short. That's a great point, Bob. Now, they got a 1st down, a fresh set of downs. The clock becomes a factor.
For a moment, the clock stopped at 2:13 to go, but now they have appropriately restarted it, and it will take us all the way down to the 2-minute timeout. 1st and goal for Vanderbilt when we come back in a tie. This is the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week. To go. A game that was tied at 3 at halftime. Vanderbilt took the lead on an MK Young 80-yard home run touchdown run. Missouri answers with a true freshman to a redshirt freshman, quarterback to tight end touchdown. And now Vanderbilt all the way down at the 1-foot line. 1st and goal. 2 timeouts left for Missouri. Cedric Alexander stopped, and now Missouri has to call timeout. Eli Drinkwitz all the way down the sideline trying to call timeout. Did the ball pop out? As Eli Drinkwitz was trying to call timeout, emerging with the football was Sterling Webb.
I think Alexander was on the ground. Josiah Trotter ripped the ball out of his hand as he's laying on his back. And you can clearly see that he's on the ground. Trotter makes contact there. He's fighting, he's spinning. He's on the ground. Then the ball's pulled out.
It almost looked like you could make the argument the forward progress was stopped even before he got to the ground. Well, this at least has made the officials' conference.
Recovered by the defense on the ground. 1st down, Missouri.
They call it a fumble and a recovery by Missouri.
I think they're going to have to take a look at this one. He clearly looks like his backside is on the ground. Unless they're going to say that he is there. You see the left hip. He's on the ground. Looks like he still has possession of the football. You see his right hand on the football.
Yep.
He's laying on the ground. Then the ball gets pulled out.
And that almost doesn't even look close.
It's not. It's not close at all.
And you know what? Thankfully, at least if you're a Vanderbilt fan, it looks like it's not close, because once they rule it, a fumble on the field, you need indisputable evidence to overturn it. And you can get times where you can't see the football in a mess of bodies down there. This time, it looks like we have a clear view, and Jerry McGinn, our officiating expert, is this, Jerry, as cut and try to you as it seems to be to us?
I tell you, we got some really good looks at the fact that the runner is down, he's on his back, he has possession of the ball, and then it was ripped out. So I believe replay will overturn this, and it'll be Vanderbilt's ball.
And even before he was on his back, his left forearm is on the ground. You can see it on that previous angle. You can't see it as clearly maybe on this angle here. His forearm is on the ground right there. And with the pink gloves, you can see he clearly has control of the football.
Barkley is over, just staring daggers at the officiating crew. And he is hovering nearby. Now, part of what also takes as long as we are seeing here, even if it's a cut and dry call, and we learned this from listening to the ACC back and forth from their operations center, we can eavesdrop. Sometimes they have to accurately know where the ball's going to be placed. They have to get the clock right, because Eli Drinkwitz ran downfield and called timeout when he thought the play was over. Was the play over?
Correct.
And where will they set the clock based on his timeout? So sometimes that's all part of this conversation.
After further review, the ball carrier was down at the 1.5. Will carry a 10-second runoff. Missouri will take a timeout to avoid a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 56 seconds, 1:56.
So it'll be second down and goal inside the 2-yard line. Missouri down to 1 timeout left. They're adding a little bit of time to the clock.
Eli Drinkwitz trying to preserve as much time as possible.
They haven't adjusted the clock yet. Now they have.
Look, if you're Vanderbilt right now, look, you still have to execute. As favorable as this situation seems for you, given where you have the football, you still have to execute. You got to play this thing all the way through. And if you're Missouri, you got to be fighting and scratching and clawing, trying to create a turnover here, trying to make it as tough as possible. And this game is still tied 10-10 with just under 2 minutes left. And you cannot take anything for granted.
Pavia keeps it. Pavia leaps. He scores. Touchdown, Vanderbilt.
That's nice execution on the part of Vanderbilt at the point of attack. Both tight ends, Cole Spence, Eli Stowers, the lead block from Cedric Alexander. And then Pavia does just enough to get in the end zone. That's the kind of execution you're looking for in a critical situation.
If you're Missouri, the only small silver lining, they got in on second down. It preserves time, and it keeps the time out. So now they'll have a minute 52 with the timeout, and they know what they have to do.
Just look at you get the blocking at the point of attack, and then the lead block. And then it's Pavia against Josiah Trotter one-on-one. He's just got to make him miss enough to where I can break the plane of the goal line, and he goes up over the top. But it all starts with the blocking at the point of attack. It's team football. You seal the edge. That's a heck of a block by Cedric Alexander.
The Heisman pose last week for Diego Pavia. The Heisman pose this week as he is now up. He's only got about 150 yards of total offense, but that touchdown run puts Vanderbilt back on top. Taylor booms another. It'll be a touchback, and we check in with Matt Barrett.
All right, Bob, while your game's going down to the wire, I got to update.
Well, thank goodness they have invented the multi-view. You just need as many screens as possible to follow all these games.
That's a great time to be a college football fan. It's a great time to be Matt Zollers, the freshman.
He's going to go up top for Marquise Johnson. It's to the sideline. It's intercepted, but well out of bounds. Marlon Sewell leapt and landed yards out of bounds.
Yeah, I think if you're Matt Zollers and you're Missouri's coaching staff, as you see Marlon Sewell come down about 3 yards out of bounds, you don't have to get it all at once. Don't put the ball in harm's way. I mean, you got to get chunk plays, but you got to be smart about it. Still a lot of time left on this clock.
Steps up in the pocket, he can run, and he will slide. Flags everywhere. Missouri hurt themselves with a couple of penalties on the touchdown drive. That gave Vanderbilt the lead. They are going backwards here, it appears, as well.
Personal foul. Tripping. Offense number 55. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Wow. And a personal foul adds a little bit more real estate.
It's center Connor Tollison. You're just going to see him at the snap. He just loses his balance. He trips over the feet of his right guard.
1 minute, 40 seconds. 1:40.
And he's just falling down as the play's progressing, and he has no other choice as his legs come up in the air. Just unfortunate. He trips over his own teammate.
So it makes the field that much longer for Matt Zollers, the true freshman quarterback. Prabula on the sideline, helplessly watching on crutches. Zollers from the goal line, heaves it out of bounds.
Here come the pressures from Steve Gregory, the defensive coordinator. That time it's Langston Patterson. He's walking up into the line of scrimmage. You don't know who's coming, who's dropping. This is not where you want to be.
Third down and 23. 2 plays to get 23 yards to keep the game alive. Four-man rush. Zollers out of the pocket. Off his back foot to the goal line. Stays out of the end zone. Stays alive. Rips a throw incomplete. Flag. Joshua Manning, the intended receiver, and it looks like it'll be a pass interference penalty against Vanderbilt.
They're going to get Colby Taylor arriving too early. These broken play situations for defensive backs are just one of the hardest situations that you find yourself in when a quarterback is scrambling. You're trying to plaster and play tight coverage.
Pass interference. Defense number 3. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
You're going to see Colby Taylor come into your screen from the left. Right there he is. Just trying to get a break on the ball. And clearly pass interference.
He committed the penalty at the 28-yard line, Lewis, which means if he would have even allowed that catch and just made the tackle, the clock's rolling, and it's 4th down and about 7. Instead, it's a first down for Missouri.
In those situations, you kind of lose context as far as where you're at on the football field. You're just trying to make a play. than trying to prevent a big play. It's such a hard situation to be in, but it's fortunate for Missouri now. They got a fresh set of downs. They got to continue to try and get some chunks down here, but not take big-time chances.
Three-man rush, so it's all kinds of coverage. And Zollers, with nowhere to go with the football, tries to do it with his legs. Can he get to the sideline? His forward progress not stopped in the field of play. The officials say he got out of bounds. Colby Taylor threw him. Usually, if that forward progress is stopped, they keep the clock rolling. That's a break for Missouri. Saves their timeout. Or at least some time had they not called it.
How about Zollers showing good mobility, ability to keep plays alive, keep his eyes down the field.
They might catch too many men on the field for Vanderbilt. Instead, Clark Lee calls timeout.
Vanderbilt. Their second of the half, 30-second timeout.
Another update, an insane day of college football. Matt Barry keeping us updated.
Yeah, Bob, it has been insane, especially in the SEC. I want to show you what.
Like we said, multi-screen, the multi-viewer, and a chance to reach the 12-team playoff arguably hangs in the balance in this matchup of top 15 teams for both. The winner, very much alive. The loser, long odds to make the 12-team college football playoff. And the hopes for Missouri rests on the shoulders of a true freshman, Matt Zollers, who has been a gamer. He's been good.
He absolutely has. And right now, if you're Steve Gregory, you're trying to figure out, do I need to pressure this young man? Because he looks a little bit too calm back here in the pocket.
Easy pitch and catch. Again, it's Jude James. It's been his favorite target. First down. And that stops the clock for the moment with 1:06 to go.
And I think you got to be careful if you're Vanderbilt. You don't want to let him just sit back here and just pick you apart going down the field. You want to start sending some extra bodies after him.
Tries to run, and this time the door closes. He's back to the line of scrimmage, but that will cost them valuable time. And if they have an injured player here, it's going to cost them their timeout.
Timeout, Missouri. Their third and final of the half.
And they'll
30-second
simply call
timeout.
it.
Please reset the game clock to 59 seconds, 5-9.
So now Missouri is out of timeouts. We had no touchdowns in the first half. It was 3-3 at halftime, but we've had some big plays here, Lewis, in the second half.
Yeah, Vanderbilt really just starting to get it going in the run game. You just see how explosive this team can be when they're able to get some space. MK Young, he's shown it this year that he is a guy who can be a big play threat. And then what else can you say really about the freshman and Matt Zollers? And the touchdown pass, and then Diego Pavia, well blocked, puts the ball in his hands, strikes a Heisman pose. And now it's up to the defense of Vanderbilt. Can they get the stops necessary?
A fair number of these students started lining up for college game day at noon yesterday. We saw a video of the women's basketball team throwing them donuts this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they were going wild then. Straight from college game day, straight to the student section, and they are going wild now after the final timeout for Missouri. Zollers, long throw, incomplete, over the head of Marquise Johnson. Colby Taylor read that one and avoided pass interference.
Basically, here's the ball game. You got 3rd and 10. You're Steve Gregory, what are you dialing up? Are you trying to play coverage? Are you sending 5 or more? You got to get an extra rusher on this quarterback. Do you want to kind of make him speed up his process? Just don't want to give away anything cheap on the back end. Can Missouri hit a big play?
Jump ball, well out of bounds, over the head of Marquise Johnson. And now it does indeed come down to this. 4th down and 10 for Mizzou at their 41-yard line.
Not really giving their wide receivers a chance. Trying to push this ball down the outside lane, down along the sidelines. This long foul ball is going to dial up something that gives them a chance to make a big play. The freshman Alubide not on the field, which is a little bit surprising. in this big play situation.
Will Vanderbilt blitz? They rush 4 once again. Zollers across his body. Caught! Kevin Coleman Jr. for a first down. 14 yards to the 45.
About the composure of the freshman quarterback.
Wow. 40 seconds to go. Check down in the right flat to Roberts. And not much, but it does stop the clock with 35 seconds left.
Just trying to be mindful of the clock while at the same time, you know, you're gonna have to put the ball up down the field. You gotta get a touchdown. You gotta get some chunks.
False start.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
It's on the right guard, Biegler. Just got to figure out a way to sit in there and keep your composure. You're tired, you've been fighting and battling. Got to give your quarterback a chance, and if you're Vanderbilt, got to play good coverage.
Zollers over the middle. Another completion to Kevin Coleman Jr. Another first down. And it stops the clock. 30 seconds to go.
These are big-time throws. Big-time throws by a true freshman who had only attempted 6 passes before this game.
And not spiking it. Here comes the blitz. Pocket collapses. Zollers tosses one. Near side, almost intercepted. Was it intentional grounding? It is.
See, Zollers is trying desperately, trying to get rid of the football and doesn't want to take the sacks.
Keanu Coote was right there.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 5. The penalty is the loss of down at the spot of the foul. Penalty also carries a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 10 seconds. The game clock will start on my whistle.
It looked like he might have gotten outside the tackle box, but I guess the ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. So now there's only 10 seconds to go because of the 10-second runoff. So from here, Lewis, I don't know if you can do anything other than toss one to the end zone. Do you have time for 2 plays? Zollers down the sideline, and now you definitely don't have time for 2 plays.
We've had a couple of these throws in this drive. It just seemed like wasted downs to me where they didn't give the wide receivers a chance to make a play on the ball. I know they don't want to put it in harm's way. But now it basically comes down to 1 play.
Unless you want to run like a 5-yard out, just get that much closer.
And then attempt the Hail Mary, yeah.
But you really risk running out of time, and now it looks like a strategic defensive timeout called by Clark Lee.
Timeout Vanderbilt.
Are you even risking with 6 seconds on the clock, trying to get a little bit closer to the end zone, or is this taking a crack at it and just having Zollers throw one in?
I think this may be one of those situations where they do go ahead and put it up.
Second half.
I mean, if I'm trying to figure out who's the guy who I think can make a play in a jump ball situation, again, I've been saying it the entire game. Alubade has to be put on the football field. He's the best contested ball catcher that you have on the football team.
He's heading back to the sideline.
He designed something where he's at the point of attack, and you can see he's just standing over there on the sideline.
Unless they're just going to try and get a quick 5 here and maybe put him out there for the last play if they think they can get that done. Zollers. Now this could be the last play. To the end zone. At the goal line. Is it caught? No, incomplete. That'll end the game. The officials telling both sidelines to hold up. Kevin Coleman Jr. right at the goal line had a chance to make the catch.
It's right, hit him right in the chest.
Previous plays under further review.
Does he have it trapped up against his legs? I think you see the ball there on the ground.
The problem is if the clock went to all zeros, even if they rule this a completed pass, that ball's short of the goal line.
Sure is, and I think it hit the ground anyway. I think it went right through his arms.
A look from pylon cam.
See the ball come down as Coleman is standing right there at the goal line. It hits him right dead in the chest. There you see the ball on the ground. Incomplete pass. Another look at it. It's a heck of an effort, heck of a throw. Ball on the ground.
And again, even if he had hauled it in, it looked like the ball was short of the goal line while he was down. So one way or the other, it looks like this is going to be a Vanderbilt win. Until they make it official, though, we stay right here. Ruled an incomplete pass on the field. He may have secured that before he went to the ground.
Yeah,
but again, is the ball on the goal line or is it short?
Yeah, that's a different look at it there. Ball slipping, but he keeps it trapped against his thighs. From the other angle, it looked like that ball had touched the ground, but as we've said numerous times, as you've said, it's short of the goal line regardless.
His body's on the goal line, but that means he's keeping the ball from the goal line.
Right.
After further review, the pass was caught, but short of the goal line. Time expired on the play. The game is over.
Wow. So it turns into a completion to Kevin Coleman Jr. and probably 3 or 4 inches away from a Hail Mary touchdown. What a win for Vanderbilt. Let's go down to Chris.
Coach, and what was a very odd and wild game. What are you most proud of the way that your boys closed it out today?
Well, just that. I mean, they fought. That was back and forth. That's a really good Missouri team. Obviously, we played better at the end there, and I think there was some gutsy play by our defense kind of right there coming out of the half. You know, we had the explosive run and the touchdown drive. A lot to like about that back and forth. We can build off this. There's also a lot to learn here.
A lot of eyes on Nashville today. College game day in town. What do you hope that you showed college football about what you and this team are building here in Nashville?
Well, listen, first and foremost, I'm just excited for our players and our program. Obviously, we love Nashville. We love our university. We were so glad and proud to share that with the nation today. And this won't be the last time. You know, this program is just getting started. There's so much for us out in front. We appreciate the attention. We'll keep working hard to put a product on the field that inspires people to show up. But more of that ahead for us.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Vanderbilt does it again. What a gutty performance, though, with a true freshman at quarterback for Missouri as well. But the Commodores survive. For Louis Riddick and Chris Button, I'm Bob Wischusen. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your college football night.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ESPN.